WSB.
Hi, Sean.
I talked to you yesterday.
Good. You are fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
A great host. Show is great. Listen to his show.
Absolutely, 95.5.
One mic.
Mr. President, you've said the war is, quote, very complete, but your defense secretary says this is just the beginning. So which is it, and how long should Americans be prepared?
Well, I think you could say it both. It's the beginning of building a new country, but they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft equipment. It's all been blown up. They have no radar, they have no telecommunications, and they have no leadership. You know, you could look at that statement. We could call it a tremendous success right now as we leave here. I could call it, or we could go further, and we're going to go further.
And we're going to go further. It's the Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. And we're going to go further. What does that mean? What does that mean to go further? The next question from a reporter was, well, can you explain what that means? And the answer was, until they cannot build nuclear weapons anymore. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just following the logic here. Call me stupid if you would like to. Many of you have. But if we've destroyed their capabilities of making a nuclear weapon, then we've gone far enough. If we all have oil dominance, then we don't need to worry about gas prices. The problem that I'm having, my friends, and I'm going to get into this. I got an email over the weekend. I received an email over the weekend from a listener. I'm going to read it to you. I'm not going to say the person's name, but I'm going to read it to you because it ties into what I'm talking about. Replay in your head that statement. Your Secretary of State says we're not done yet. You said two things can be true, and you're right. They're done now. We got rid of the Navy, the Air Force, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's over now, and now we've got to rebuild the country. Well, when does it end? Well, when they can't build a nuclear bomb. I thought they can't build a nuclear bomb right now. We just destroyed everything. We took out the mountain, then miraculously 8 months later, they are back to having nuclear weapons capabilities. And so now we've destroyed the whole country. You've taken out the whole military infrastructure. You've taken out all 49, 50, whatever it is of future Ayatollahs and leadership. So at what point can they not build a bomb? What does that mean? I'm trying to understand what that means. Does that happen tomorrow? Does that happen next week? They asked about the new guy, the grandson or the son, whatever it is, and they said, well, we don't like that. What do you mean you don't like it? Then it's regime change. If you're deciding upon who leads the nation next, that's regime change. Something else that you said you wouldn't do. I'm just trying to get clarity, my friends. That's it. I'm like everybody else. I just want to know what's going on. And you can't keep telling me and moving the goalposts on what's going on and expect me to be like so many others. Oh, yeah, no problem. It's all good. MAGA, as I understood this movement to be, was about principles. You call people rhinos. You call yourselves patriots in many cases. This movement was about America first, non-intervention, non-regime change, no useless wars. And the useless wars, let's be clear about the useless war part of MAGA. It was about lives, yes. But more importantly about being about lives, it was also about money. It was about money being spent. That's what the MAGA movement was all about. Billions and billions of dollars that could have gone to help veterans, that could have gone to help farmers, that could have gone to help poor people. Oh, wait, no, we don't count that. But that's what the MAGA movement was about, taking care of Americans. This is what Marjorie Taylor Greene has been saying. Take care of Americans, and we don't want to go pour our tax dollars into foreign excursions. They even he called it an excursion himself. This is what this movement was all about. It's why so many of us signed on. Yes, finally. Some moderates, some center-right people thought they had that in Obama when he said, I'm going to Washington to change. We're going to change the culture of Washington. And many people, like myself, thought we had that there, but we didn't. He just went on to be a foreign policy of Bush 2.0. But President Trump came in 17 to 20, and didn't do any of this. Gets back in office, and within a year, you're doing everything that you said you weren't going to do. And that was part of the movement. That's why so many of us are disenchanted and just kind of upset, if you will. Mad even. I don't care to know the reasons why. I care to know the reasons. I care to know that you've lied to me. Because you knew these people were trying to get nuclear weapons way before 24. So you should have said on the campaign trail, by the way, if we're going to bomb Iran if I get elected. No, you, Vance, you, surrogates, all said we're never going to do this again. And then here's most the disgusting part of what I'm talking about now. Someone sent me a video of a fellow talker giving the reasons why we need to attack Iran. And what's fascinating about that is when we were on a campaign trail, not he and I, but when we, the Trump administration, the Trump candidacy, were on a campaign trail talking about non-intervention, this very same person agreed with it. So how do you flip so quickly, any of you? The talkers, the listeners, anybody. How do you flip so quickly? How do you go from, yeah, vote for us so we don't go into Iran, we don't go into Cuba, we don't go into Venezuela, and we spend money on American citizens. Yeah, vote for him. Kamala's going to do just the opposite. And then when he does all of those things, you say, yeah, here's why. I don't like that. I can't do that, my friends. And if you're searching for that talk radio host who can flip like that, then I'm not your guy. And I'm okay with it. I'm truly okay with it. I'm just not that guy. I don't like war. I like our American citizens to be taken care of. And that's why I signed on in the beginning. So if you go away from that, what am I supposed to do? Stay here and say, oh, yeah, I like it now? But I told everybody to vote for not that? 2 years on the radio, vote Trump, vote Trump, vote Trump, no new wars, no regime change, cut spending, cut the deficit. That's what I did. Now when you do all of the opposite, you do everything opposite of that, I'm supposed to get on the radio and defend it? I can't do that. I'm sorry. It's very important for me as a man. You know, I go to the bathroom. When I do number one, I stand up. I stand up. As a man, I can't do that. I can't look myself in the mirror the next morning and just say I'm repeating talking points fed to me by the very administration that lied to me. I can't do that. If that's what you expect me to do, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to be true to who I am as a man. If you tell me you're going to do A, I expect you to do A. If you do B, I'm not going to repeat the reasons why you're doing B. I'm only going to excoriate you for lying to me. Because B, the situation of B was always there. The Iranians didn't pop up in 2025 and say, we're trying to get a nuclear weapon. They didn't. So you going in there now, you knew you would have had to do, you knew you were going to do this when you were telling me you weren't going to do it. That's my biggest problem. Some of you will roll over and say, hey, it's okay. It's fine. And it's fine to those who are giving you reasons why we had to go last Saturday. This is day 10. I just listened to the president. They said he's going to be coming on, speaking live to America, to the nation at 5:30, and came on whenever time he came on, 5:45, whenever it was, and I thought he was going to be telling us we're done. No, we're just beginning. So now we're nation building now. We're nation building now. I got vets sleeping in the streets. I got kids that can't read beyond the 3rd grade. You cut the government to bare bones, and we're running up a deficit. So we're still spending money, even though we cut. Listen to this. Listen to this. We cut government spending by cutting staff. all over the government. And everybody yelled, yeah, Doge him. People get out of, don't need those jobs. We don't need that many federal workers. Now they're all gone. So we should be saving that money. No, we're not saving that money. We're just spending it elsewhere on something that you said you weren't going to do. So we're regime change. We're intervening on behalf of another country, by the way. And finally, you just admitted we're nation building. And I'm just supposed to go, la, 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 la. I'm good with all of that. Please, man, treat me with respect. Treat me as a man that listened to you tell me what you're going to do and not going to do, and now you're doing everything you said you were not going to do. You could treat the slugs and the sheeple a different way, but me, I'm a little bit different. It's the Shelley Winter Show. We'll be right back.
This is a short-term disruption for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain be for long-term gain.
We're going to have some short-term pain with long-term gain.
Short-term pay for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain, yes, but we've got some long-term gain. Short-term spike for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain for American consumers. We may have to deal with that in the short term. Short-term and temporary.
Temporary, short-term pain.
It's going to suck in the short term.
Some short-term pain.
Short-term pain. We have to focus on the short-term.
Short-term.
Short-term, 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 and long-term.
Short-term.
Hopefully this is a short-term pain. Short-term is highly outweighed of the long-term benefits.
Some short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain.